I just wanted to further add a few more thoughts, and I'm probably going to repeat myself a bit. The big thing yesterday was the late afternoon or early evening complete meltdown by Donald Trump. It looked like it was a prepared speech, but he had tried to cast doubts on the legitimacy of the election, and now the votes are, it's pretty much established that Joe Biden was elected, and because he pulled ahead in Georgia and in Pennsylvania, and so the election's basically over. But Trump just went on this insane rant, and it was so bad the networks cut him out. I mean, you could see the whole entire remarks, if you have the stomach for it, on YouTube. And this is one here, I'll link it, and that's PBS. And the remarks are in about 18 minutes into it. But he's just completely, he can't understand that he's been rejected. And the thing is, yes, that election was way close and should have and shouldn't have been. And of course, we're not going to ever see landslides again in American politics because mostly because of the repeal of the Fairness Doctrine and all this hate radio and hate media, social media, and hate so-called news networks that are not even news networks. They're propaganda arms of the GOP. But also, you know, the last landslide was back in 1984. So that's probably going to be the last one ever. So it's going to be sharply divided. It's going to go, these elections it'll take days to decide. But had Biden run a ground game, I have no doubt he would have prevailed by far more votes. He ran virtually no ground game whatsoever. He had very few rallies, and it's all because of COVID, whereas Trump was running around all over the country disregarding guidelines, health guidelines, and they had a ground game. Biden didn't have a ground game at all, and he still edged out Trump. So that's one thing you got to take into consideration. But like I said, stuff that did hurt Biden, and that Biden has nothing to do with, is this damned defunding the police shit, the riots and crap. Now, don't think that didn't have an effect on the vote, because that did. And this pandering to the transgender crowd by throwing women under the bus. Don't think that hasn't had an effect. And they're going to have to work on that. I mean, they could kind of marginalize that stuff if they wanted to and focus on the important things, like trying to get this economy going again and getting COVID under control. So there's that. And then, of course, the other big thing is that damn Steve Bannon was calling for, seriously or not, he was calling for beheadings of Dr. Fauci, and I can't remember the other one. But he was wanting, and he was saying that. He was openly saying that. And this idiot is out on bail, and it's time to revoke his bail or his bond and throw him back in jail. But he was kicked off Twitter for good. And it really needs to cut, the social media really need to come down hard on these groups that are actually advocating for sedition. But it doesn't help that the president, the current occupant of the White House, the lame duck president, the dead duck president, is sitting there advocating for this stuff. Openly advocating. So that's what's scary. it hasn't ended just with the official results. This problem, it's going to be a problem here for the next couple of years. Or couple of months. And then, of course, there's been a lot of talk that Trump is thinking about running again in 2024 because he can't stand losing the adoration. So we'll see about that. But I'm telling you, scary damn shit is coming down the pike. And it's horrifying that so many people were taken in by a massive con.